I always hear people say, I wish I could have invested in this project early on, or if I was around earlier, I would have done this. And I wanted to reference a few companies that a lot of people will say this with. There's Apple, there's Netflix, there's Facebook. And we look at the stock today with a company like Apple sitting at a $2 trillion market cap. We all wish we could go back and invest in that company earlier on. I reference these companies because I had the opportunity in the past. I looked at these companies and said, I wish I had bought this stock. And we always look at something like, let's say Netflix. When I was looking at Netflix at one point, it was $50 and I had the opportunity to buy some, but I didn't do that. And now Netflix is sitting at $602 per share. What I'm about to share with you guys information wise is not financial advice. It's important for you to do your own research and do your due diligence before you hop into any project. But today I wanted to talk about the importance of getting in early. So why is it important to get in early into a project or a stock? Of course, getting into a stock or project early means a greater risk, but with that greater risk comes a greater reward. And you also have to assess your risk tolerance on how much you're willing to risk for what you're going to get in return. One thing I would say about investing early into a project, it's very important to not just listen to a YouTuber or a friend, but to actually go and do your own research on a project. I believe this is where a lot of people fall short, as the majority of people want things to be done quick and easy. I have seen this with the VeVe app. So I've shared the VeVe app with friends and family, and I find a lot of people end up downloading it, but they don't take the time to actually go in and do the research behind drops, how to get drops, how to flip on the market, and things like that. Those are things that you have to take time in order to do, and the downloading the app part is the easy part. And I asked them later on, and very few people actually go in and have participated in a drop. As for assessing my risk, an example of this is Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman recently came out on the app, and I did a little bit of research on Wonder Woman. I'm not an expert on the DC comic fandom, but I know that Wonder Woman is one of the big three in the Justice League, and I know how important of a role she plays in the movies. She comes out as a first appearance, and with her being the second most popular character in the world behind Spider-Man, and we've seen already how well Spider-Man has done on the app, it was a kind of a no-brainer for me to go and buy multiples of Wonder Woman. And my investment paid off, and I've probably about quadrupled my money right now on my investment in Wonder Woman. All of that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't do my research ahead of time. Wonder Woman was actually the common out of the four. Wonder Woman is actually the one that has the most in terms of mint compared to, let's say, Hawkgirl, who's actually going for the same price as Wonder Woman. When you invest into a new project or a new company, there's going to be a lot of volatility, as we're going to see news drive the price up and down, and there's not going to be as many investors. So people buying or selling is going to make a huge impact on the price action. Something that I recommend is dollar cost averaging. And what dollar cost averaging is, let's say you buy a stock for $100 and that stock then drops to $50. Now, if you take another $100 and you buy the $50 stock, your average buy-in is now $75. If you continue to do this and continue to use this method, you actually lower your entry price every single time you dollar cost average in. So it's important not to throw all of your money into one investment in one go. It's important to take your time, dollar cost average, and I found this way to be the best way to invest. Now, I wanted to look at the Omi token side and talking about the importance of getting in early. I would say that out of 100 people that I've talked to about this token, maybe 3 or 4 at most have actually gone and purchased this token. I'd like to reference an Andre Zik video and what he said in that video. Andre Zik said he loved this project. He understands the collectible side of it, but when it comes down to the token side, he actually had a third party purchase the token for him. And the reason for that was it was too difficult to purchase. There was a lot of steps that needed to go into it. But looking at Andre Zik's investment, he put in $150,000 at the high point of Omi. And if he had dollar cost average down, he could have taken his average buy-in point and taken it down drastically by dollar cost averaging in. However, he said he didn't do this because the token was too difficult to obtain and there was too many steps behind going in and trying to buy this token. It stands out to me that whenever I bring up, hey, have you guys heard of the Omi token to a friend or a family? The first question I would usually get is, sure, is it available on Binance or Coinbase? This is a very normal question for the average everyday person to ask, as when it comes to investing, people want to see something succeeding before they actually invest in it, and they also want it to be as easy as possible. Unfortunately, the best return on your money is going to be getting in before the masses do. As the Omi token is only listed on 4 exchanges right now, I believe that this is the best time to get into the Omi token. As you see the snowball effect happen with the VeVe app, because it is so easily accessible, people are downloading it, and we've already hit 1.2 million active users and 2 million downloads within the first year, whereas the Omi token only has 60,000 wallets of people that are actually holding the Omi token. Now, just imagine what happens when Omi hits a Coinbase or a Binance and you have millions of people telling you how successful this project is, and you can quickly purchase it with your credit card. By then, I would say the project is still early, but it is nowhere near as early as right now. Hence why there is something called the Coinbase effect. Studies have shown that when a coin or a token gets listed on Coinbase, the coin coin within the first 5 days of listing actually gain 91% in profit. This is due to human nature and our habits of rushing into something as we see it go up. People tend to FOMO into projects thinking that it will go up forever because we've seen it go up for day after day after day. And then on the polar opposite side, what happens is when the coin goes up for a long period of time, the early investors will take profit and sell off, hence causing the price to go down because they hold more of the tokens. And then your new investors that paid more for the token will panic sell, causing the price to go down even further. And then what happens is the people that are rich and the people that have bought in early take their profits and buy back in at a lower price, hence repeating the cycle over and over again. During my time in stocks and crypto investing, I've seen this happen time and time again, which is why a lot of people online are telling people not to FOMO into projects, not to panic sell, and to dollar cost average in. With that being said, another thing that's important when you get into a project early is to do your own research. And the research part can be what the team is doing. You need to look at how the team is executing it, their roadmap and their plan, and seeing if it makes sense. And then doing a little bit of a history check on each of the founding members, seeing if they've had success with other projects, seeing if they've kept their promises, seeing if they've given you any reason to not trust them. And my last point is patience. There's a famous quote by Warren Buffett that says, "The stock market is a tool to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient." And I've seen this time and time again. It is important to note with a company like Ecomi doing something so big for the first time ever, like migrating chains from GoChain to IMX, there is going to be some delays along the way, but it's important to also look at the team's history. They've delivered on all of their promises, although maybe not on time. They have delivered on them and they've given me no reason to not trust them. And that's why I believe that this project is a good investment for the long term. I hope you learned something today. Again, this is not financial advice, but remember that getting in early allows you to be ahead of the curve before the masses get in. And this is why it's important to remain patient. This is not financial advice, and please make sure to assess your risk tolerance because you know yourself best, and make sure that you invest wisely. If you liked today's video, make sure to like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.